Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, reasonable minds all over the world. This is yours truly, SBI, coming to you live and direct from the Grand Studio of Unique Images Media Group here in Boston, Massachusetts. Time now is 10 minutes after 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, again here in Boston. From the other side of the Atlantic, we're saying to you good evening, good morning, and from this side of the Atlantic, we're saying good evening. And if you're joining us from Asia, as usual, we say good afternoon. Okay? And once again, welcome to tonight's show. Yes, what a show we have tonight. What a show we have tonight, ladies and gentlemen, reasonable minds. Has been quite a day. Eventful day indeed. This evening, ladies and gentlemen, we have, like I said, quite a show tonight. We are going to be talking about. This. Okay, this is our show tonight. This is what we have on our show tonight. Okay, we're asking, and everybody else is asking. Okay, did the president get the subsidy removal call right after all? Okay, was it the right call that he made? After all, did he make the right call? That's the big question that is being asked all over the place. And I'm going to tell you tonight, the experts are weighing in. And we have our own take from here too in the studio. Okay, we don't know what you think. I don't know what you think. Okay, but we are asking you to tell us what you think. After all the information that have been gathered, or that you've gathered, or the things you've seen, the tapes you've seen, the videos you've seen, the tapes you've had, the things you've read, everything that you have done in gathering information in the last few days. Okay, this is what is. What is it? The 6th day now. This is the 6th day of the presidency. Okay, the 5th 6th day of the presidency. That our president has been on that seat. You know, there have been questions surrounding some of his initial his announcement. You know, his announcement. There have been questions surrounding that. You know, including this issue of fuel subsidy. That was that he said. Paraphrasing now, that is going to end. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what he said is going to end. Okay? I don't think he meant that that he has ended, but he was just giving us a heads up that the fuel subsidy is going to end. We've talked about it here on the show. Okay? Let me go into some other things, also the rest of the things we have on the show tonight. That is one. Okay. There is a meeting now. He's been having meeting. He has had meeting with the Joint Chief of Staffs. Okay. He had meeting with the CBN. He had meeting with the NMPCL. Okay. He had meeting with currently, before we came on the air this evening, though we don't have the reports yet of the meeting or what the results of the meetings are. Okay, but he had a meeting with the NLC today. Remembering that the NLC gave him up to Tuesday night. Okay, before they go on this nationwide broadcast, they are planning to go. We've been talking about it. We've been talking to NLC and the rest of the the groups, okay, to stay put and call off their national strikes, because at the end of the day, the people that you're trying to strike against are not the one that will suffer. The people that will suffer are the people that are going to be on those picket lines, and there are no contingency in place for them from the NLC. Okay, so please, we're calling for that. We're calling for a stay of that for now. Now, after this meeting, we're going to see, maybe by tomorrow we'll get a report on what happened on this meeting, okay? But the president, overall, I would say to us, is making the right call, or had made the right call especially with this fuel subsidy, and I will tell us why when we get into the program. Okay. Another thing again that nobody's talking about. Nobody has talked about it. It was during my research on certain things that I came across here today. Okay, that is the issue. That is the issue of the cooking gas, because it's part of our national petroleum products. Okay, so the cooking gas, the price of the cooking gas did come down. Okay, some people are saying it because there's no deregulation. It was not deregulated, and there is no subsidy attached to it. That is why it's is going with the market force. Okay, so the market is determining the price, and also there might be an issue of oversupply. So that is what is making the price come down as it did. We're talking about from 13,000 at the peak to less than 7,000 right now at the low. I'm talking about the cooking gas. Okay. So some people now are saying, is that a good sign of what to come? That's what people are saying. Is that a good sign of what to come? This issue of gas that has gone up, okay, people are looking at it that after this little, bottleneck and, hardship that we're going through now, after it comes now. You know how the Bible puts it, cry in the evening, joy in the morning. Okay, so they're saying that there'll be joy in the morning at the end of the tunnel. Okay, the question now is, how long is this tunnel? How long is this tunnel? Are some people going to leave to see the joy in the morning? We'll talk about that in a minute also. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute also. Then tomorrow, as we know, the court hearings resume. The presentation of the documents and the evidence, the overwhelming evidence by the LP resumes tomorrow. Okay, we'll also update us on that by tomorrow. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, as you know, it's customary over here that before we start the program, okay, we do pray, okay, to set a unique atmosphere for our discussion and everything we'll be doing in the program. Okay, so tonight is no different. So I would like us to join us here, wherever you are. Join us as we pray, to asking God for His presence in this evening meeting. Father, tonight we bless you once again. We thank you. We honor you. That we exalt you. That we magnify you. That we hallow you. For there is none like thee. Your word declare that beauty in holiness you are, mighty in praises you are. Hallowed be thy name tonight. Our King and our Redeemer, the one that called those things that be not as though they were, the one who is and who is to come, the one that is everything that we are. We thank you and we bless you, honoring you for that which you've done for us this day. This was that day you have made, Father. You gave us every authority to rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for to and fro you led us and you brought us home safely, including bringing us to this gathering this evening. Father, we thank you and we're declaring that unto you shall it be. But life shall be thy name tonight, Daddy. As we thank you once again, we're not saying, is there anything that will make this meeting tonight not to be a pleasant one and not to go as we desire? Father, we say, let that be taken away from us in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, now sitting boldly in your presence, having accepted your grace and mercy, we say now come and take your rightfully place, directing all that we will do tonight, as we ask for an increase in understanding, wisdom, and knowledge. We say that the things we will say, the things that we will imagine, the things that we will think, whatever it is that we're going to be doing tonight, Father, we say that it should be uttered and directed by thee in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, I commit your sons and daughters as they come into this meeting tonight into your holy hands. I ask that your grace continue to open doors and doors for them in the mighty name of Jesus. That concerns them, Father, we declare that you continue to perfect tonight and more in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, we thank you and we bless you, committing Nigeria as a whole into your holy hands, starting from the head of the nation into your holy hands. We commit. We ask that that all that concerns him, Lord, that you will continue to perfect, directing him to fulfill the destiny, no matter how long and short it will be, Lord. We ask that he stay, be pleasant, Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus. But I will thank you and we bless you, Lord, for in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen and amen and amen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you. You see how I'm looking tonight? This is exactly how I feel like looking tonight. So, to my brothers from this north, I say Sanu de Zua. If I said it right, if I don't say it right, help me to extend that greetings. Okay? Thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you, Helen. Thank you, Helen. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you once again, everyone. So, what are we saying tonight? Okay, we're asking it as a question, in as much as the dividends are coming in concerning this call by the president. Okay, I remember a month ago, right after the election, during the heat of the whole thing, after the election, I had come here on the air and I asked us, I said, is there anything the president will do that will speak to your conscience, that will make you shift your stand on how you feel about him and what you think about him? I did ask us that question, okay? And I'm still asking that question tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still saying that tonight, all right? Is there anything? Are there buttons in you that the president, this our president, okay, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, His Excellency, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is there any button in you right now that the president will press that will make you to twitch? Is there any button in you? Is there anything? Is there any way he can be able to jumpstart your feelings? Okay, I'm not saying that you should fall all over him if he pressed that button, but is there something he would do that will make you go, Is there anything? Okay, I think there is. And I'm going to say it to us tonight. One of the things I've told us is this. On this program, I will always call it the way it is. It doesn't matter whose ox is God. I will always say it and call it as I see it. Okay? And I wish you, as a reasonable mind, will also understand and feel and think so. Following me as we go that direction. All right? Like I said to us again, he is the president of the Federal Republic as we know for now. Buhari is no longer there. And somebody must replace and stay on that seat to warm it until, if it's him, he continues, until, if it's Obi comes in. But that seat will and should not be empty. So our president is there, and already he's making calls, okay? Meaning he's calling the shots. He's calling the shots as we speak. He's having meetings with the right agencies, okay, with the right people, talking to the National Assembly. He is doing things on your behalf. And I'm saying it to us right now. The president is already at work. And that's what we need from our president. Yes, that's what we need from our president. With putting prejudice aside, we need somebody that will get to work for us, who understands the pulse of the nation. Okay? And since he made this announcement, which we're going to look into right now deeply, since he made that announcement, he is not resting. He is not resting. Some of you will be SBI. Are you not the president mouthpiece? No. But I'm a concerned citizen who is calling and seeing it as it is. And if he's doing something wrong, yours truly will come out on this air and call it as it is too. So right now, he's doing the rightful things. Okay? One of the things I've spoken to us on this program, and I've warned us on this program, is for us to not to be too sentimental. Because sometimes when we let sentiment speak or go ahead of us, it shields the truth. Okay, and that is one of the things I dealt with getting to where I am right now. Is my sentiments, how I feel about Obi, or what I think about Obi, or what I think about the election and stuff. That one has its own place in the scheme of things, in the discussion we are having. It has its own place. And anytime I get there too, I put on the coat for that and I talk about it. But on this one now, where we are right now, and that's where we are, and that's what I want you to see and feel. Okay? There is a national crisis that was not caused by the president, and I will tell us why. There's a national crisis that was not caused by this president. Yes. Yes, he did make the announcement. Okay? But I don't think I don't think you had that announcement was to go with immediate effect. He said that it is going to present in the present that will happen. But eventually, the people that I'm going to talk about tonight, because they are the real enemies in the midst of all these things. Because the greatest thing the enemy did is to let you know, is to tell you that he does not exist. That's one of the worst things the enemy did to us. I'm going to tell us who the real enemy is in what we are going through right now. Not the president. Not the president. The president, yes, because we are feeling it the way we are feeling it. But it must happen. It should happen someday. The former president did not do it, in as much as he was turning a blind eye and watching these people rob us blind. Okay, he sat and he became complicit. I have to say it. So what has happened or what is happening with this fuel situation? You should have been hearing things now about this subsidy and everything. Okay, the reason why everybody's looking at the president now because he's the shot caller. Yes, he calls the shot. And when he made that announcement, which Peter Obi himself also said he will do, let us also remember that. Which Peter Obi said he will do, which you also, if you happen to be in his shoes, you will do. It might not be the way he did it. It might not be the way he announced it. Maybe for you, you might have a better or some contingency in place on few things. Okay, but this is a plague that needed to be removed. This was subsidy. Because the intention has not been met. The intention of this fuel subsidy has not been met. Whoever that introduced it did not introduce it for it to go this way. It has not been met, people. And we have to be honest to that fact. That whomever the originators of these fuel subsidies are or is, okay, this was not their intention. They didn't intend for the Nigerian country to be robbed the way it's being robbed. We think we're getting anything. No, we are not getting anything. We are not getting anything. And I want you to follow this discourse tonight, where we're going with this. We are not getting anything. This thing has never worked for us. There are people whom this thing has been working for. And these are the people, okay, that are, as we speak, okay, are just doing what we call cha-ching. That's what they keep on hearing. That's what their bank account is doing now. That's what their bank account is doing now. These people we're talking about. And they are called the marketers. Yes. You don't even want to know how much they've made in these few days. You don't even want to know how much these people have generated just within these few days. These people called the marketers. And we think they are there for us. No, they are not. These people are not there for us. Never. Never have they been for us. They are our problem. These marketers, they are our problem. Now, let us look at this fuel subsidy for what it is, okay? It was instituted for a purpose, okay? If we look at it and follow it the way it is, in the market, international market, Nigeria seems to be the people that are paying the cheapest. And we should be, because it's coming, we are producing it, so we should be paying the cheapest, okay? So supposedly, that is what it's supposed to be. We are supposed to be paying the cheapest, okay? Thank you. Now, it's when things happen like this, that's why I say to us, at the end of the day, if we want to be honest to ourselves, when all these things plays itself out, because it will surely do, okay? When it plays itself out at the end of the day, we're going to clap for this president. We're going to clap for him for being this bold. He knows that this is a political risk that he took In his first day of office, he announced this. Who would, if not somebody with strong balls, who would make such an announcement on the first day? We've come here on the air, we've looked at it, we've saw it from different angles and stuff. But the thing with me is that I always go back. I always go back to rework my lines to see, did I miss anything here? Is there an information here I did not see or get correctly and stuff? And as I get them, I'm that bold enough to come here on the air also to talk to every one of you. Because that is my promise to you from day one, that I will always tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. So help us God. So here now, okay, the president knew that he was taking a political risk, big time. But because the entire citizenry is so busy with extracurricular activities, nobody is actually understanding what is happening or what has been happening to us. So long as we can see fuel and buy fuel and stuff, and we hear this subsidy and stuff, we think that all is well. No, all is not well. It's not supposed to be so. This fuel is coming to us here, delivered to us at 98 naira. As we go into and start, because that's why I say, at the end of the day, we will clap for the president because of some of the things that are coming, the truth that are coming out now that a lot of us are not aware of. So long as we can buy our fuel and stuff, we think all is well, like I said before. So what is actually cooking the whole thing? We don't know what is behind the whole drive. And that's what they didn't want to see. Some of the people that are going to be exposed at the end of the day don't want to pray. They didn't pray for this day to come. Yeah, they are milking us now. But at the end of the day, it's all going to come together. We're going to know who the real players are as we're beginning to see some of them now. Okay? And they're going to be called to book. Everybody that is involved in this trillion naira they're talking about. These people are not talking about millions. They're talking about trillion when these things are mentioned. Now, let me tell you the few things how this game is played, if you don't know. Every single day, there is a quota every single day that the entire nation consumes in terms of liters of this fuel. Every single day. Every single day, there is a quota that we consume every day. And on that quota, I want you to, if you have your pen, get your paper. On that quota, this is what they do. The quota by their NNPC, if you go, because as I was doing my research, I went into their website, the thing I'm going to tell us tonight, listening to tapes, watching videos, reading, I did a whole lot to come up with what I'm going to say to us tonight. We do consume, by their estimation, 63 million daily of liter. 63 million liters of gas. That's what we consume on a daily basis. It's already on record. And that is what the federal government is subsidizing. That is what the marketers are saying. That's what that's the NNPC and the marketers, that's what that's these two. You see these two demands? That's them. So that's what they're saying that we consume on a daily basis. And that's what the government is paying. If it's $5 in the market, international market, let me use it right now. Where it reached right now is basically the rate, 500-600 naira, okay, in the whatever exchange it is. That's what it is supposed to be selling in the international market. So now government come and say you should be selling 1 naira 85 kobo, okay, 1,085 kobo, yeah, 85, 1,000, whichever it is. They should not mess my brain out, but 1,000 naira, 1,800, 1,850. Okay, that's what the government might be saying. In some places, 2,500, whatever. We've been seeing the numbers. Okay, now the rest of it, if it's in that case, let's say it's 500 naira. Okay, and the government is saying to them, sell 1 naira 50 kobo. That means government is going to 150 naira. Government is going to, my minds are not this thing, but you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. I'm just going from the 500 to 150 naira. Yes. So government now is subsidizing 350 naira, the balance of it. So government is actually, every liter that you buy, government pays these people, these demons. Government pays them 350 to augment it. That's what is happening. And it's been happening like this for years. Okay? But you know the problem? All those things are unnecessary markup. Those things you hear, this is what they do. That thing they're saying is 63 million. It's not actually 63 million. It maybe it's in the neighborhood of 50. You see the other 15, government will pay them that 500. They will take the same thing government has paid them for. They're not saying that it has gone to you. They will take the same thing, they will go to Cameroon, they will go to Benin Republic, they will go to Niger, and they will sell it at that 500, doubling the money. So when the president made that announcement that day, do you know who was really, really angry? Not you that don't even understand what is going on. It's these marketers. Because what is about to happen to them now is that their ass is about to be. So they were the people that were really angry. That was why, in retaliation, overnight, the same time, it's like they're waiting for the president. They knew that announcement is coming, as a matter of fact. They knew that the announcement is coming. So what you remember that the president made that announcement, damn, all over the nation. Why do you think that simultaneously they were raising their prices? That none of them was able to say no. The prices went up. Even on their old stock, they raised their prices because it's syndicated. It's a syndicate. They're all together in it. None of them said no. I care about the people that live in this road. I'm going to mention this. I'm going to mention these big players tonight to you. I'm going to mention them to you. None of them said no. We will not allow such to happen. Okay, we are still going to be selling at that 185 or 255, whatever the government is, But all of them jumped up their prices because they don't care about you. Because now their purse is about to be their billion, trillion naira purse and $1 billion purses are about to be attacked. So I want you to see this and be honest to the call of the president. And the president coming in knew this. The former president knew this, but he didn't have the balls to stop it. Because the people they were making, do you not have the kind of money we're talking about here that could have gone in doing other kinds of infrastructure and doing other things, building these roads, doing this electricity, these things that people are buying these gases for. Because this thing, if you look at it, is a chain. The intention is to have you where you are, so you will continue to buy these gas. So that is why they will not like for electricity to be to come in. They will not like for roads to be built, or everything that got to do with national infrastructural development. They don't want to see it because they are so selfish. It's all about them and what they can get at your behest. So this president now came in and said, "Now, it's not going to stop." That is why you see the arrogance in him. People are saying that he was arrogant when he made that announcement. He made that announcement because he's angry. He has sat down on this side of the aisle. This is not about him. This was not about him because he is made, as we know. But he has sat down for a long time to see this robbery being done to this nation. And that was why, as soon as he came in, he made that announcement to let them know that he's coming to deal with them. And what did they do? They won overnight and they hiked their prices. Let us see, even if we can do it in the next few days, get this money. Since the government is not going to do this, but let us get it from the people. If government is not going to be paying us that 500 naira, let us get it from the people directly because we don't care about the people. And that's exactly what was happening. That is why you see these things now going on the way it's going on. Because they are now completely being busted. Both them and the people because when they go, they tip people also. They tip people. They give people little things to, so that they can zip their mouth. So that they can turn a blind eye and continue to allow them to rob the nation. But things are about to get different. And there is something about this president. This president has balls. if I may say it. Ask me why I'm saying this. The reason why I'm saying this is this. You ask yourself why everybody is afraid of him. People are afraid of this president. Oh. No matter how you see him, how he looks and stuff. He's a player. He can play dirty if he has to be dirty. He can play smooth too if he has to be smooth. I say to us, if Obi did not come, between him and Atiku, I would choose him gazillion years. Between him and Atiku. If Obi did not come. Because he can really hold you. If you want to hold you responsible, he will. And people listen to him. That's the kind of president you need also. People listen to him. Let me use that word for lack of a better word. People are afraid of him also. No matter how you see him look, he can be very, very, very when he calls it. So that is why you see him the way he did, why his face looked the way he looked when he was announcing that particular fuel subsidy stuff. And some of the things he came to talk about, he talks about the exchange, having one exchange rate situation and stuff. Those things are bold moves. Those things are bold moves. You may not understand. Some people may not understand. But do you know that there were trillionaires made, or billionaires? Let me use there are billionaires made. At the same day he came, he was announcing that since he became president, go and look at the stock market. Nigerian stock market has gone up this much. Nigerian stock market has gone up. This company here that I'm about to call now, okay? Where are they again? They are Seplet Energy, 150 something billion they've made in few days. Most companies' stocks has risen because of demand that is coming in. The kind of person he is, and because he's an aggressor, he can really attack situations. Like I said to us this night, we're speaking from the place of we are sitting on the fence. I'm not going to be biased about anything. I'm calling it as I see it. When Obi comes in, if eventually he comes in, we'll talk about Obi, and Obi we also know will do maybe better than he's doing now. But for now, he's a president and he's calling it. I say, he's calling it. So now moving further on this, ladies and gentlemen, he has now instituted this. The marketeers don't like it at all. They don't like it. Now there are calls now for the refineries to be resurrected. We have four refineries. Okay, we have those right now, and the president is calling for them. That is why he's having meeting with the NNPCL. Okay, for that to be, because that might be the contingency you yourself would have put in place before taking out this subsidy. But do you know how many trillions are we going to lose if we're going to do that? If we're going to do that, if we're going to wait until all those my contingency are in place, then we will continue to pay these people. These people that are just doing this thing to the nation, we will continue to surface them. But we're saying that no more. Yeah, we're feeling the pain now. We're feeling the pain now. But you say to yourself, how painful is this pain? Why am I asking that question? How painful is this pain that we are feeling, ladies and gentlemen? It's not that painful, and I will tell us why. I will tell us why it's not that painful. I hope I did not remove my tapes here. There are some tapes I want to show us now. It's not that painful. And this is why I'm saying it's not that painful. Okay? You see this? You see this tape here? You see this video here? This is why I'm saying it's not that painful, what the nations are going through. Because if this was painful, you will not see people doing a run to the gas stations as these people are doing. You say to yourself, when the fuel was high, People were not rushing to the gas station when it was low. When it was at that 185 and 2 something, they were not rushing to the gas stations like this. Now the price has doubled and quadrupled. People are rushing to the gas station. People are rushing to the gas station. So what does that tell you? And this is why these people are mean, because they know that the marketers, they know that this will happen. So they are raking up. And this is where the National Assembly will come in at the end of the day, because they need to come in and prosecute these guys. The National Assembly and Justice Department need to come in, okay, and prosecute this guy. That's exactly the way it is from where we are. This kind of thing, this kind of fraud against the nation. This is even against humanity. You know how many people that have died because of these people's action? So this is a crime against humanity, Nigerian citizen. So there's a need for the National Assembly, when all this is done, to call all these marketers, call them to meeting, call them, and whoever that needs to be. As you guys start, unless you guys are part of the cookie jar, if you guys are also, your hands are also in that cookie jar. That is the only reason why we should not call a hearing of the national marketers on this. Why they should not call, because it is only you guys that have the right to increase by law, by your own constitution that you wrote. It is only you guys that have the right to increase the price that they increase, or the president. An NPC don't even have that right, according to the constitution. An NPC does not have the right to increase the price of this fuel. It's only you people that has the right to do what these people did. So they have violated the constitution. So both the Justice Department, when they eventually been put together, they should call them to order, and you people should also bring them to book. Bring all these marketers to book. Honestly, bring them and let us see what they are going to say about this. They're going to try to play victim. They are not victim at all. These guys have zapped us, every single one of them. Total Energy, Separate Energy, Corn Oil, Mrs. Oil, Etna. If you know how much these guys have made in the last few days, these 5 conglomerate of oil companies, because they are the marketers we're talking about. When I'm talking about marketers, I'm not talking about the people that are selling on the gas stations. No. Though most of these guys, most of these marketers also own the gas stations. That you see, Total gas station, Can Oil gas station, and Corn Oil gas stations, and all the rest of them. So they still have their own gas stations. They are the players we're talking about. They are the enemies of Nigeria in this discussion. These people are the enemies of Nigeria in this discussion. The oil is there because they only make money if this thing is coming from out of the country. That's how they can be able to bulk up this. Mind you, I told you the landing cost of this is 98 naira. That's the landing cost, meaning taking it there, bringing it back, and everything. 98. And that was why the government said to them, okay, you can sell 150 something and make a little thing there. It is still landing at that price. It hasn't changed. So why did they now push it to this amount of percentage that they pushed it to, if they are not the enemies of the state? Why did they push it to this level? The level that they pushed it to, why did they took it up to that level if they are not the enemy of the state, people? That's the reason. That's why they went up that high. Because nobody's checkmating them. But this president has come in now to squeeze them. And they are not saying anything. They can't go back to, they can't hit the president, so they're hitting you because you are the easier target. They can't fight the president, so they're fighting you. People. They're fighting you. They are the real enemies. They are the real enemies. They are the ones that are doing us what we are going through now. It's not the announcement the president made. The president did not say to them, increase the price. The president is the only one that has the power to increase the price, minus the National Assembly, as per the Constitution is concerned. Simple as that. But they took matters into their own hands. Let me tell you, the president is not happy. He's aware. He's coming on them. He's coming on them on that one. But the president, and let me tell you what is not going to happen. Let me tell us tonight what is not going to happen. The president is not going to revise this call. He's not. And I will not want him to revise it. Instead, there are a couple of things we talked about. Contingency, we talked about before. We talked about policing contingency. We talked about palliative contingency. Okay, so it looks like right now he's following the second one. He might end up following the first one, to which is policing, going to make sure that nobody is selling at a particular price. Because these guys are making excessive, now that the numbers are in, now we know that they're making so much money. So there's nothing that will stop the president and his police in saying, no, you can't continue doing this. It can't be so. You can't be so. And nothing that stops the National Assembly, whom I think the National Assembly are going to get together by the 14th or so of this month. They will resume, the new assembly will resume on the 14th. So nothing stops them from, their first port of call will be to call them, all these marketers, all these companies that I mentioned now, these 5 big companies, okay? They've made within these 2 days, 3 days, they've made over 300 or something billion. These companies we're talking about, these 4 companies, they've made. I'm talking about profit, I'm not talking about total sale. So going back on how these things market is done, they will build the nation, build your taxpayers' money, you. They will supply 20-something, they will bill you for 80-something. That is fraud in the highest order. And the remaining part of they will take it and sell to the other nations. That now depriving you on what you're also supposed to be selling to those nations. So for you to see the mindset of these people. Now, NNPC through Mele Kayari, who is the boss of this NNPC, that guy is something else. When I read his dossier, that guy is something else. He is on a different level when it comes to management. What he has done, what he achieved in the last few years. He was first appointed to chair NNPC. NNPC defunted. Okay. Now into the new Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited or whatever, NNPCL, CL, yeah. So he kind of metamorphosed to the new company. Okay, the new corporation now. That's where he is now, running it now. So what he's running is not actually an NPC. For some of us who are not aware, I just got to find out this when I was doing my research. Okay, so he's running the new corporation now that replaced NNPC, and he has done quite a whole lot. If you go and read it, the records are there. The man has done quite a whole lot. I remember he came out the night after this announcement, and when this thing started going all over the place, he came out and said, we have enough. We have enough oil, okay, to sustain whatever the market needs. And indeed they do. Indeed, they do have that. Nigeria have this oil. They pretend like this oil is not there. They have it. He said that right now, the market demand is 63 million on a daily basis. But they said that they are now pushing out 70-something million daily that they're pushing out daily to make sure that the market is saturated. And in economics, okay, which we call the market force, in economics, one of the things we were taught before is that the more the supply, okay, the more the supply, the cheaper the price. The more the demand, the higher the price. It goes that way. So in this case, we have too much supply, we have enough supply, but these marketers are pretending. That's why you see them locking up. They will come, they will lock up their gas station, and they will not sell at a particular time. They will choose to sell, so to act as if there is no gas, so they can be able to hike the price. When they are getting this supply on a daily basis, when they are getting oversupply on a daily basis, what kind of inhumanity is that? When you see them locking up those gas stations, if you've been to Abuja, I've been there to Abuja several times, and I see that. During the day, you see they will lock up the gas stations, big gas stations. They will lock them up and people will line up. They only sell at night, giving you the impression that there is no gas when they have a stockpile of it, and the nation has a stockpile of it. So all these things is a game. They're playing game with every single one of us. It's a game for us. They wake up every morning and they put us in the pitch and they start toying with us. That's what they're doing. And that's what I want us to tonight to look at it for what it is. The main enemy is not the president. If you want to be angry on this president, you might be angry on him when it comes to election matters, but not now in governance. Not what he has done so far. Let us be honest to ourselves. Not what this president has done so far. This particular call, I'm saying it again, this particular call is right. The president called it right. Our president called it right. Okay, our president called it right. This one. Because we're saying, did he get the subsidy removal right? Yes, he did. Because he is not against you. Because you might be thinking, and that's how they want it to look like he's against his people. No. Some of us thought that so until we start going into and doing some of these researches. The president is not against you. He's fighting for you. On this one, yes, he is. He's fighting for you. The real enemies are the marketers, okay? Separate Energy, Total Energies, Corn Oil, Mrs. Oil, and Na Oils. These are your real enemies. These people in the last few days have made over 300-something billion. That's how much they've made. On you. Because the president said to them, you guys cannot rob the nation anymore. But I'm telling you, the National Assembly is coming after them. And this president the much I know about this president, he's a no person. He's coming after them too when all the doors are settled. Because every single one of them that have been part of this robbing, okay, are going to be known. So again, I say it on this one, the president called it absolutely right, and I would not like him to revise it. Yes, I would not like him to revise it. If you just joined us, we've been discussing so far why the president made the call that he made, who our real enemies are, and why this subsidy needed to be removed. Because you've been hearing, I know that some of you have been hearing that this was highway robbery. Some people are robbing the nation, blind, that it was not working. Everything to that effect they're saying is true. Every claim they've made against these highway robbers are true. But now we're beginning to know whom they are. It's not the people you're thinking they are, it's the marketers. They are the real enemies when it comes to this fuel situation. There was no need. I just told us now, Mele Kyari, who is the chief boss of NNPC, you will see him up there. Okay, there's a reason why I have the pictures up there. Okay, because these four people now are the four most important people in that country right now. Right now, the four gentlemen you're looking at, the president, okay, the CBN governor Emefiele, until a new one comes up, Joe Ajero, the Nigerian Labour Congress, and the Mele Kyari of NNPCL. These are the four most important people in Nigeria now. Yes, they are. And I don't even need to tell you why, because you should know why. Because in the scheme of this discussion we are having right now, they are sitting at the center of it. These four gentlemen are sitting at the center of it. The president, the CBN, the Nigerian Labour Congress, okay, the Nigerian Labour Congress, and the NNPCL. They've already come out to tell us that there is enough oil. They have already come out to tell us that the nation is consuming, by whichever way this number is coming between them and between the marketers and the NNPC, they already said to us that we are consuming 63 million on a daily basis. And NPC say that we are not even, it's not that we're giving them short of that 63 million, we're giving them more than the 63 million. We're giving them more than the 63 million. So there should not even be any reason for this thing you saw happening at the which is exactly why people need to be educated. Because if people are not educated, they will continue to understanding is deliverance, people. It is understanding that is deliverance. My people die for lack of knowledge. People are perishing right now because of lack of understanding what the whole thing is all about. People need to be schooled, including the Nigerian Labour Congress. And I think that was why the president is having a personal tete-a-tete with him. That is why. Because those people, when they say move, people move. And LUC, they are no joke. I said it here 2 days ago, and I said it there. I've been saying it about Joe Ejero. Anybody that has sat on that seat is respected. When Oshimole was on that seat, he was one of the most feared Nigerian until he went into governorship and he cheated on himself. Ejero now, Joe Ejero now, who is the president of NLC, is a no joker. He's already calling for a national strike on Wednesday. He said to the president, I give you till Tuesday night. And the president, we came here in the air as the same people that from all over the place are saying, President, listen to these people. Already the labor people are aggrieved. And you don't want to give them the reason to come to the street. You don't want to. And I said it here. I said yesterday, you don't want these people to be on the street. You don't want these people. And this is not Abuja. We're talking about nationwide. You can't handle them. Okay, so now the president today had a meeting. We don't know what the outcome of the meeting is. He had a meeting with him today. So maybe by tomorrow, we'll get to find out what the meeting is. But I think in that meeting, part of the discussion will be for Joe Ejero to understand what the president knows. Joe Ejero, on their part, what they're saying is there should be contingency in place. They themselves also understand that subsidy is not working. They themselves understand that too. Because Peter was being robbed here to pay Paul. So they themselves understand that. But what they are saying is that something like the refineries that are not working should have been repaired, restored, okay? Palliatives and all kinds of things should have been in place before the president makes this announcement. But what we need to understand is this: every single minute, every single day matters to these robbers. Yes, every single day matters in what we are dealing with them. These people, these marketers. If you get to understand the truth about what is happening behind closed doors, okay, you won't even give it a single minute. You will do what the president did plus. You will do what the president did plus. If you understand what these people are doing to us. Because every single day, mind you, they are billing the country every single day. That is why they're coming and saying that the country is owing them 12 trillion. That's what they're saying. These marketers, that's what they're charging NNPC. That they've been owed 12 trillion. And that is your taxpayers' money. And you say to yourself, when did I use these guys? Every day they're billing that. Were you driving that every day? Were you spending that much in gas every day? So time has come now for us to look into all these things. And it's starting with this president. And that was why Obi also knows this. That is why you see him, he hasn't said much. He knows this because he said he will also do it. So had it been it was Obi that came in and do this, you'll be clapping for him, I'll be clapping for him. Then we will see the reason to suffer. If he said to us, suffer for a little while, cry for this evening. In the morning, it will be okay. There will be joy in the morning. We will say, oh, yeah. That is the same thing. This president now, in furtherance, he is, I think, that's where what's his name comes in. Emefiele comes in. Because he had a meeting also with Emefiele. Okay? The first meeting, I talked about it a few days ago. The first meeting he had was with Emefiele and Mele Kayare. Nigerian Labour Congress, we are not in that meeting. The one he's having today is specifically for Nigerian Labour Congress. And I know it got to do with the proposed strike on Wednesday. That proposed strike on Wednesday got to do with that. Okay? So what we're seeing right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that the president is not going to revise this. If he revises this, I'll be so surprised. I'll be really, really surprised if he revises this call. He doesn't need to revise this call. Let him stay put. The much he can do is put up some kind of easiness, put some kind of palliative, which I know is why Central Bank is there. Why he have meeting with Central Bank. How much do we have that we can be able to play around for the next so and so? But not continue to furnish this nonsense, this criminal's lifestyle. Not continue to furnish that. What do we have? Do we have much that we can be able to say to help people out on the guy, So that's exactly what I think he's doing now. It's not easy because we also know what government does with these palliatives. We've been there before, done that with them. We know what they do with this palliative, where the palliative will be given and they will not get to the right people. Some people, we know what happened during the COVID. Okay, during the COVID, with every palliative that was supposed to go to the people, how some governmental people held it back. So I believe the president and his economic team will be looking at all these things, and also some civil society people. They'll be looking at all this on how this thing is going to work out. But these few days is going to be a little bit tough as we see him. But people are not even acting like he's tough. That's my other thing that I'm saying. People are not acting like he's tough. People are still going out there buying more than they bought before. So if the intention is to slow people down in the usage and everything, it didn't work. People are not acting like it's difficult for them. They're buying more now than they bought last week before the announcement. So if that is happening, we cannot say that it's affecting the pulse. All they need to do is, if they're going to sustain the current trajectory of the pricing, then what they would do is make sure that these gas stations are actually selling. Since they said we have enough. We have enough to sustain daily. So they now have to make sure that these gas stations are selling it as they're receiving it, not holding it. And they try to put some kind of cap because we know that all that money is excess money for them. Not in this present state now should they be making that kind of gain. But like I said again, there's gonna be some questioning at the end of the day when it comes to that. Okay, so moving to the next topic, Nigerian Labour Congress, they're already having a meeting with the president. We talked about it, and we've been saying it. They're having a meeting with the president, and we're going also on the link to say that they should call up that meeting because we're hearing now that the electrical people, like saying the NEPA people or whatever, they're also going to be coming out with their own strike. Now, my question is this: if these strikes are called, all these strikes now we're talking about, do you think that these people we're talking about are going to suffer it? No. First of all, they're not even using the electricity. They themselves are not even using the electricity. The people that are using your electricity is the same people that are going to be suffering. All these big boys, they all have these generators and all these, so they don't even have a need for your electricity. They don't. So, Joe Ajero, please, I beg you, I believe the president has spoken to you. If he has not spoken to you, I'm begging you, okay, to actually reconsider this. Your people do listen to you. They do listen to you. I'm asking that you also reconsider this because it's the same people that are going out in the street. And the worst thing that can happen is if you bring people to the street and they get killed. I don't think your conscience will serve you right, sir. If you bring people to the street and they get killed, because this is the time, we know what happened when they come out to the street, they get infiltrated. They get infiltrated and stuff. Okay? So the less you have these people on the street, you've talked about how you're going to picket CBN, picket this, picket that. At what gain? These people have so much money. If you picket from morning to night, they will still be enjoying their money. What we need is a lasting solution. We'll find the solution. Let us be truthful to whatever the situation is. Let us be truthful. If you've had a sit down with the president and the president has told you that this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do, this and that, I want you to look at it, sir, taking sentiments out. Look at it for what it is and make the right call. Call off this Wednesday national, because people have suffered so much. They suffer so much. 90% of Nigerian population is in the trading. So if you call off all these things and okay, if you call off and say people sit at home, people will not go, businesses will crumble and all kinds of things. These big guys are still going to be, it's even better for them when you call off. So I think you should work with the president on this one. Yes, comrade, I think you should work with the president on this one. Work with the president. Okay, since he has called you, call the CBN, call NNPCL, okay, you guys should find a way to work together. There's no doubt that we have these guys, we have this, because all this money, all these things, they started hiking. We already know that delivered to us is at 98 naira. We said it this evening. That is how much it's costing for each liter of gas to come to Nigeria, 98 naira. So for them to selling it at 6,000 and stuff, that is robbery. Big time robbery. It's not justified at all. So that is the kind of thing that we should be discussing with the president about the pricing, because he is the only one that has the legal authority, minus the House, constitutionally, to cut down that price or to raise that price. And right now, these people, they've made enough gain. Yeah, they've taken advantage of this announcement. They've made enough gain in these few days. So there should be a call-off. Work with the president on this one, Chief Ajero. Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. Your people will suffer. Don't do it alone. Your people will suffer. I say it again. Your people will suffer. Don't do it again alone. Work with the president on this. I believe the president meant well. On this one, he meant well. Work with him. Work with him. Don't let arrogancy or don't let personality issue or selfishness take over on this one. Work with the president. It's to your advantage. It's to the people's advantage and stuff. I'm telling us. The president took a political risk, a big political risk, but we have to give it to him. It's due to him. Okay? Work with the president. I've said this several times, this in the last few seconds. Work with the president on this one. The nation will benefit more if you do so. The nation will benefit more if you do so. But if we go and calling out this strike, it's gonna backfire. It's gonna backfire. There's nothing to gain on it, because we've had strikes before and the people were still doing their thing. The National Assembly, the politicians, whomever that is robbing the nation was still robbing the nation. So please, okay, please, unless the president is not telling you anything that makes sense. But I don't think that the president at this time will be saying things that does not make sense. Okay. Another thing is also in the interim, the president, sir, you should put some kind of policing on this pricing. Put a cap on this pricing and put a checkpoint. Put a check. Put a check. Anybody that is caught selling beyond what you've ordered, Mr. President, you clamp. That's why we voted you in there. That's why we want you in there. Please, sir. Again, finally, we saw another thing that I put in there. There's something else I put in there, which is this issue of where is it again? Where is it? This issue of look on the left side. That's the gas. The gas prices. Okay. We'll be wondering why did I put that issue of the gas prices there? I'm talking about the cooking gas. Why are we having it in the midst of this discussion? Why not? Why not, and why shouldn't we have a very unique and palatable news? Why shouldn't we have it in the midst of this discussion? Okay. Now, this is what happened. I was in Nigeria not so long ago. Okay. I bought this cooking gas, as most of you do. Okay. 12.5 liters was going for 13,000 naira. At the point, it was 4,000 naira. At the point, it was going for 13,000. And one of the things we say about that our country is that anything that goes up does not come down. That's one of the things we say. But maybe it's part of this new Nigeria we're talking about. Okay. I'm happy to report tonight because sometimes these things will be happening, and because of the busyness of things and the distraction that is all over the place, we don't even see when good things are happening. The price of that gas actually came down. It's selling below 7,000 right now, nationwide. Nationwide, it's selling below 7,000 naira. People, cooking gas is erased. It's part of that our petroleum also. It's part of that our petroleum. The reason some industrial specialists are saying that is because it was not subsidized. That is one. It was completely deregulated. That is two. Okay, so they're now allowing the market to dictate. We have all these things in quantum. God has blessed us with natural resources. I want to remind us of that tonight. It is out of our sheer stupidity that we're even importing this fuel that we're importing. We are the only nation amongst all the oil producing nations. Nigeria is the number one in Africa. They dropped to number two when they were doing all those stealings and stuff. So our quota, our daily production quota shrank because of all those bunkering and all those things that was going on. So they fall behind. I think they fall behind Algeria or whatever or whoever. But Nigeria has that's one of the things that this Kayari guy did. I'm gonna do a piece on Kayari one of these days because I love the man. When I started reading more about him and researching more about him, I fell in love with him. Honestly, I fell in love with him. Okay, he has completely revitalized. He's not there yet, but he's doing so much to revitalize that our agency. So now he did a whole lot in stopping all those bunkering and the pipeline stealing or whatever, whichever way they do it to be hijacking our gas before it gets to us. So he has put some things in place because he himself is a crude oil person. So he's an insider. So he took care of so many things. And he's somebody that is he's somebody that wants to result. He wants to see result. He's basically result oriented. Okay, so he put some measures in place to make sure that fraud and all kinds of things, in as much as the agency is so big, the market is so big, there were still some loopholes, but the man has done quite a whole lot. If you go Google the man, you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so now he's working on the president also have given orders. I didn't even mention that. I mentioned it earlier, but I didn't talk more about it. The president now has given orders for the Delta, is it Delta? The Wari plant, Kaduna plant, and Port Harcourt plant. Okay, I think there's two in Port Harcourt. Okay, refineries to be revitalized between now and the next 2 years. And the money they were saying that is needed, they were saying is needed to revitalize this is nothing compared to how much this guy claimed he spent to build this refinery that is not even going to be ready this year. And what's his name? Dangote. Dangote built a refinery that might not be ready this year. And the president, the Buhari, okay, Buhari commissioned it before leaving. Can you imagine? And the CBN governor is telling us that he has also paid back 80% of the loan. Can you imagine? And the place of operation has not started yet. Can you imagine? Okay, but those are different discussions on a different time. So what I'm saying here now is this: the president has given order. That's a very big measure. That's a very big measure. Okay, I think they should speed it up in terms of revitalizing one or two. Okay, one or two they can get the Warri on one the Port Harcourt on and the one in Kaduna. Okay, they can get those two going. At least that would be good for Nigeria. And if we can get that, so this nonsense about importation and all, because they're using that importation thing also to hike this dollar situation and all these things, the National Reserve, and so I'm thinking with the right economic people in place, the president will get he will get us socioeconomically, he will get us right. He will get us right. I know we have so much belief and so much trust, that Obi will do wonders. But who said that the current president won't do wonders too? Who said that? Go back to my tapes. I've been saying it. If God has called him, no man can stop him. And if God has called him, God will equip him. I've said it several times on this show. Okay? But we're still in court. We see how that one plays out. Now, on this issue of the gas that came down, the price came down, what some experts are saying also is that taking out this palliative now, if this palliative is taken out the way we're looking at it now, right, we are now going to allow the market to determine the price, because that is what is happening. Remember when I talked about in economics about supply and demand, what the effects are, okay, what the effects are, where if the supply is high, the price is low, okay, and if the demand is high, the price is high. We know, I want you to listen to this now. We know that the price went up now because the demand was high, because people ran to the gas stations. If the president had made that announcement, and that's part of illiteracy, and NPC already come to tell you that there is not one person is not going to come and buy all those gas. And NPC has already told you, okay, because this 5 naira you pay now, going to the gas station and staying overnight, is some 5 naira you will pay tomorrow. 500 naira you will pay tomorrow, anytime you go in there. So since before this thing, you don't go and sleep at the gas stations. You don't go and sleep there. Why did you go to sleep there now? Okay, because of lack of knowledge, because of lack of information. And the NNPC, that's why they came and said to you, you don't even need to rush. There's enough. Because people are rushing, thinking that the thing is going to end, that when they say palliative is ending, then that means fuel is going to end. No. The government are still going to be, NNPC is still going to be supplying these guys the same 70 million daily requirement. The only thing is that, then let the market, if the market is there, let them buy it. But it's in. Government is now saying we're no longer going to be paying that 500 for people that are stealing it. So if now which you are doing now, you are doing it now, you go in there now, the government said we're no longer doing this subsidy. Then you are taking over the subsidy yourself by rushing. Don't you see the whole confusion here? In as much as government said, don't go there now. So that 500 that the thing is the worth of that thing in the international market. That's what you are now paying. You are paying it. You're doing it now on behalf of the government. Government said we're not going to be paying it again. But they didn't tell you the date that they're going to stop. All of a sudden, out of ignorance, you started rushing to the gas stations. Then the people now who have been waiting, these scavengers that have been there waiting, the moment that they see you coming, they know you are desperate. They saw you are desperado. So what they did was say, okay, we're going to hike up the price. We're still going to go at the back and collect this money from the government. But we're collecting this money from these people now. After all, government didn't know if we hike the price or not. But it's all going to come together. I said it here. It's all going to come together. Because this government, this president is going to bring people to book. And the National Assembly, if they know their work, they should bring these people to book. Because they're still going to come at the back and try to collect this money from the government. The money they have collected from you so far. Because government is still supplying that 70-something million on a daily basis. Government is still doing that. Okay, so what the government is saying now is, we're going to stop paying them this money. Okay, then let us see if people will go and start paying that money. And right now, you went in and you start paying that money. The thing could have been the price is too high. I'm not going to be using gas anymore. Then what it is now is the market force now will determine the price. They're not going to go up to 1,000, but the rate things are going up. They're going to go up to 1,000. So now that it's deregulated, what will happen now is that when people are not coming out because people don't have the money, people are pretending they have the money now. That's what is happening because you're going to this gas station, so you're pretending that you have the money now. Okay? And that your pretense is what they're taking advantage of, the marketers. That's your pretense. You're pretending that you have the money. So because you're pretending that you have the money, they're taking advantage of you. But had it been this to happen and you sat at home and say, you know what? I'm not going to be driving my car for now. Okay? I'm not going to be driving my car. 1 or 2 days, because there is too much supply. Remember what I told you about the supply and demand? Because the demand now is so little, it's so small, and the supply now, the market is saturated with gasolines. So what are they going to do? They drop their price. Because the inventory, there will be an overflow with inventory. So they drop their price so they can sell more. So and make more money. It's as simple as that. This is elementary economics. And this is where Nigerian Labour Congress need to come in and help the president. Honestly. This is where Nigerian Labour Congress need to come in and talk to the people. And say, listen, weeping may come at night, but joy is coming in the morning. But going out now and taking 520 gallons, going out there to just thinking that you will buy the whole gas station, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The only thing is, in developed nations, that's what they do. In developed nations, that's what they do. People will boycott you. But Nigerians don't know how to boycott. That time you are hurting them is when they are clamoring you. That's when they are rushing towards you with everything they have to impress you. That time you're telling them that you don't like them, that you hate them. That's when they come for you, Nigerians. But you hear the way you know somebody, the way you let somebody retaliate is by boycotting that person. So what we could have done, instead of making these guys trillionaires and billionaires overnight, we should have started boycotting these gas stations. We should have started boycotting these gas stations. Then they will be forced now to look for you. And the way they look for you now, they will incentivize the gas. They will give you incentives. They will drop the price down. It's economics. That's what we studied in economics during our school days. They will drop the price down. But not what is happening right now. What is happening right now is you come there, the way all of you are clamoring, rushing to that gas station. What they do now, they say, no, we don't have any gas unless you're ready to pay 10 times more. And because of the selfishness in us, we still go ahead and pay that 10 times more. And these guys are laughing to the blank. These guys are laughing to the bank. That's what is happening. These guys are laughing to the bank. You know, so honestly, it's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. Let's see how it plays out. I'm so much curious to know what the meeting was all about. You know, the meeting between the president and LLC. What this meeting was all about today. I'm really, really curious to know. When I leave off the air now, I'm gonna, make calls to find out what actually happened between the president and LLC. Okay, because that determines the way forward. Because if this floodgate is open on Wednesday and these guys start coming out from the dog pound, I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. How can happen in also? Yes. It's going to be really crazy if they do that. It's going to be really crazy. So I believe the president understands this, and that's why he called this meeting. And like I said again, I would like Chief Ajero to, drop down where he is on where he is on this one. His demand, is right now is unattainable. Okay, what they can do is they can speed up repairing some of these our refineries. They can speed that up. If this was like a 2-3 year plan, they can invest more in our refineries and get it done. Now we know that Nigeria is a consuming nation when it comes to gasoline too. We consume everything. That's what Peter B was saying. We consume, and we consume out of our consumers. So right now we know that we consume more than even, So let us invest more, Mr. President. Let us invest more on these refineries. See, give yourself maybe 3, 4, 5 months, see what we can be able to get. Just the hope alone will make these idiots, these scavengers, will make them to behave. And you put policing in place, Mr. President. Police the pricing on these things. That is how that's what nations do. We already know how much that this thing is costing them to bring this thing back to Nigeria. We already know how much it is. So it has to be a certain percentage of markup. They cannot come in and start marking up to kill. That's what they're doing, Mr. President. Okay? So I believe the economists are talking to you about this. I'm talking to you about this. I'm a layman on the street, like so many of us are. Okay? But we still understand some numbers when we see it. On this one, please, sir, I'm saying, okay, put some policing in place. Put some policing in place. Let them go around, make sure. First of all, these 5 or 6 national marketers should be called to the books. They should be called. You should have a meeting with them to start with. You should have a meeting with them because it is them that dictates what happens in the pump. So they should be nice people. You've had a meeting with NNPC. They should be the next people to have a meeting with. Okay? Then you should have, after that, have a meeting between them and the Nigerian Labour Congress. So that they can look at Nigerian Labour Congress in the face and say to them, we're not going to go beyond 200 naira per liter. Since some of us are drinking fuel now. Yes, some of us are drinking fuel now. Yes. Because when we start seeing pictures like this, you say to yourself, it looks like I cleaned that picture out. When you start seeing some of these pictures, you say to yourself, are they going to be drinking this fuel? These people that are bringing all these gallons, what are they doing with this fuel? Are they cooking, usually to cook, beside, I can't even understand. And this is why these marketers that took advantage of us. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we have for today. Honestly, today was one of those days I wouldn't have loved to come on the air. But this topic was so dear to me. Okay. This topic was so dear to me. And I don't know all the forums, other places you guys are getting information. We that are mouthpieces, we need to be honest to the situation on the ground, taking sentiments apart. Okay. We need to be calling these things so that the people can be properly and rightfully educated. Okay, on what is actually happening. And you see, and that thing, let me tell you, and that thing, I forgot to even mention it when I was talking about this. And that thing they're doing now, okay, that is killing Nigerians. Because people are walking out now like they're nothing, no man's business. They think the nation is normalized. The nation is in a very big mess. And people that live there need to act like it is. But people have so much time to be watching all this kind of nonsense they're showing you on the TV. They're showing you all those things so that they will continue to milk you. The reason why they show you, bring up all these shows, bring up the soccer, all this European League, or they start showing you all these things on TV so your mind will not be on the matter of the day. That's why if you go out there and start asking Nigerians about what is going on, or they'll tell you the price, the president increased the price of fuel ignorantly. That's what they will say. They'll say it and they start working. Not this, no be this, no be our president, no be this or our president who want to bring in, you go increase the price of fuel, this and that, without knowing the intricacies, without really understanding what the whole thing is all about, without really understanding. And they will start speaking out of knowledge, not knowing. So there is a need for some of us that go on the air and that have people that are listening to us to please be honest. Let us be honest and call it as it is. Because I plead to everybody that has a platform of disseminating information to the Nigerian populace, please let us educate them as we know. And if we don't know, let us not make things up. Let us not come here and start saying nonsense, because it adds to the confusion. Let us not come out here and be throwing these tapes. You go and copy tape and we paste the tape just to pursue clouds and numbers and stuff. And we'll be telling people and selling nonsense to people. Let us tell people the truth. Again, I say it, the president is right on this one. Take it or leave it. If you want to be honest with yourself, you will see what I've seen. The president is right on this one, and I would not like him to revise it. Mr. President, stand your ground and stick to your guns. Don't, if a bazooka continue shooting, don't take it off. Honestly, on this one, sir. Okay? Just try and find a way to put some contingencies in place. You can see that. You can still do that. Price-wise, you can also control the price, Mr. President. That would be my last word for the evening. Okay? So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for coming in this evening. It has been quite an evening hanging out with you. I know, again, like I said, that so many of you don't come in after the show. Okay? And do take your time to listen to me and stuff. I thank you so much. What I would like you to do is, as you listen to these things, please give me your own comments. Tell me how you feel. Okay, tell me how you feel, and also in your benevolence, give us those likes. Give us those likes as you watch our shows and listen to what we're saying. Okay, we'll always be right to you concerning the matters. Okay, thank you so very much. Share our show, as we always say. Share our show, like and subscribe. Okay, and try also to contribute to the show. Meaning contribute, I'm not talking about money now, but contribute your comments and stuff. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. Okay? Don't come here to castigate me. I see one of you that came up the other day and started writing nonsense on one of my past shows. I'm not CNN. I'm not Channels TV. I'm just a freelancer having my good time doing this with you guys. So you cannot hold me stringently as you will hold big news station. The person was writing as if I'm CNN. No, I'm talking to you from the comfort of my living room. I'm not in the studio right now, to say the least. I'm talking to you from the comfort of my living room. Okay, so I just want to have my time. So don't make me uncomfortable, because I'm not making you uncomfortable. Please. If you need to direct me on something or redirect me on something, you can go to my DM and communicate me. Don't come out here on the show and start writing those things, because I will strike you out. There are so many that are waiting to come in. I will strike you out if you come in here and start writing nonsense. Okay? If you need to tell me anything, you can go and DM me. And the person that wrote this is somebody that knows me very well, that could have called me on the phone, and he came out there and start saying those things, telling me that you should prepare yourself before coming on the air. You should not be saying sorry. Really? If I have reason to say sorry, I'm going to say it a million times, because I'm human. Newspapers, national dailies, they do still say sorry. They still do disregard informations and stuff, disclaim informations and stuff. Talk of me. So If there's something that didn't come out right on the previous show, I'm going to come out here and then I will apologize. If I apologize, I'll move on. That's why I'm human. All right? So don't come up here writing those kind of things. If you want to talk to me, as in the case of this particular person that I'm talking about now, you know yourself. You live in the same city with me. You have my phone number. You can talk to me. So coming out here just to do that was a no-no. And that is why I put it back to you. All right? Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. It's been quite an evening hanging out with you. I look forward to seeing us tomorrow. I have to now go back and go in and research more. Okay, we're looking forward to tomorrow. The court is tomorrow. More evidences are coming in tomorrow, as they promised us last Friday. Okay, so it's still on. It's still on. For those of you that are waiting for B to come in, the chances are still there. Okay, but for the meantime, and like I said to us, for the meantime, we have a president. We have a president, and every single respect that our president deserves should be accorded to him. Okay? So with that, I say until next time. Until next time, my people. Until next time. And I say thank you.